Alright everyone, welcome. I am Demon Monkey, and we're back here with another game from cYong. If you remember from my cast yesterday, it was another great game from cYong there, a PvZ. If you didn't check that out, there should be something on the screen you can click now and go check that out. But I'm back here again today with John, aka Big Brother Gaming. You can check out all of this stuff in the link below. Welcome back, John.
Thank you for having me back.
So, last game we saw some pretty standard stuff come out from cYong. I wonder if we're going to see some standard stuff like that again, or maybe he's going to utilize some of the Oracle a little bit more. And of course, most of the changes to Protoss are in that Stargate tech, excluding the Mother Core and a few. I think the DT Shrine is a little bit cheaper to get out, so you can rush it quicker, which will make for interesting team games once Heart of the Swarm does end up coming out. So we'll definitely see what we're gonna see from cYong here.
Yeah, and I'd like to see the Oracle play use this game, because I mean, last game really the only thing the Stargate was used for was the late game Tempest that he ended up helping, or that ended up winning him the game pretty much. I like if he does White Raw's build where he proxies the Stargate. That one is a really good one. And I don't know if White Raw does it on this map though. I think he does it on Coral Compound though, or not Compound. It might be Coral Compound. I don't know the names of the HotS maps. Nah.
And now I know something that's really strong amongst Terran players, especially high-level Terran players that have amazing micro right now, is the Hellbat drops and or the Widow Mine drops, and they just destroy if they go unnoticed. You know, if a Protoss player looks away, he wants to control his army walking towards the Terran base or inside the Terran base. Well, guess what? Your mineral line will be gone in a matter of seconds if one of those gets in your mineral line, and so it's really death-defying right there. And if that happens to you, if those drops happen in, we did see the earlier gas, and we don't normally see gases this early from Terran, so we could see a quick factory going down here pretty soon. And the 111 in Heart of the Storm is much more viable than it was in Wings of Liberty because of all the factory changes that happened. The Widow Mine and the Hellbat, they're much more mech friendly against Protoss in Heart of the Swarm.
Yeah, well, especially since the siege tanks don't require the siege tech research anymore. That helps out immensely, because that, I mean, well, not maybe immensely, but it helps get your siege tank up faster. It'll help protect against early attacks a little better, because you don't have to wait for the research to finish.
So we see that mothership core coming out, and it is rallied all the way to the ramp of Goody here. And we did really introduce our players. In the top left corner, we have ESC Goody, and both of these players, they are really high-level Grandmaster type play, so keep that in mind. And in the bottom right corner, we have cYong, who we've seen before, and he's part of Team Clarity, which is a esports team out there. It's not a very huge one, like, you know, EG or Team Liquid, but it's better than being on no team at all. And so we see a good amount of Marines here, 3 or 4. We see a command center being thrown out, and we see some Hellions coming out here.
Yeah, the Hellion play, I'm curious to see how he's going to do that with this. I mean, the Hellbats, though, those are really good. Looks like that Zealot's not really going to live much longer. He might be able to stop this bunker, and since that bunker wasn't up, he can actually get in here and do a little bit of damage. He's going to micro that Zealot back, though. He's going to stop the bunker. He's going to pick the bunker off. Oh, no, he's going to try and surround the Stalker, and the Stalker's managed. Ooh, it might get out. The Militia Corps is going to come and try and save it. Oh, a time warp there.
And with the time warp, not only is it just slowing everything down, it's making it harder for these SUVs to get back to the mineral line if they were going to go that way. More Marines, more Hellions production is finally going to get driven back there. And this Stalker can flee really easily because the Hellions move really slow in there. Man, that slows down like a whole freaking lot in that. And remember, the Mothership Core does as much damage as a Marine shooting. It might shoot a little bit faster, though, than the Marines. Actually, they shoot at about the same speed. The Mothership Core shoots at 0.01 speed faster. So that's something very interesting there. These Stalkers and Mothership Core driven back, though. Very nice micro, keeping that Mothership Core alive, though.
Yeah, it was really good. I mean, it's got, what, 13 health now with almost no shields. And this bunker still isn't finished, so the pressure is still going to be on. Bunker just now finishing, and now it's full, so I think that's going to be the end of this pressure from the Protoss.
Now, for those who didn't know, the bunker adds 1 range, and the Stalkers have 1 range up on the Marines, so once they're in that bunker, totally ends any kind of stalker aggression unless he starts massing them up. But as you can see, Young here, he's just going to secure himself his expansion. He's going to add a few more gateways. And the thing that's really hard to think about that while this engagement's going on and these Marines and Hellions are pushing out. Oh, picks off the mothership core there. Oh no, Young going to have to retreat here. But one thing that's really amazing about this play that we've seen so far is he's been doing it off one gateway with this entire time. And now we see that Stargate coming out. We see an Oracle moving across the field, John. You know what that means?
Yeah.
I sense some dead SCVs in our future.
There's a Viking coming out. It might actually be able to stop it. Where's the Viking rally to? It's just rallied right over the bunker, or right near the bunker. So I feel like he might be able to only be able to get 1 or 2 SCVs before the Viking gets over there. Unless that Viking decides to move out, which actually it is. There might actually be a few more SCVs lost, especially if that Viking gets picked off by the stalkers.
And you notice Young focusing down the Viking as it got close enough, and here it comes in the back of the mineral line, so quickly killing all the SCVs. No, it's at I think 4 right now. 10 workers killed in total. That Oracle has 6 kills, and the Oracle can even kill Marines extremely fast. And I think I saw a pro game. It was between like Bamey Knight and some really well-known Terran player. I don't really remember who it was. But he had 8 or 10 Marines stationed back here, and 3 Oracles came in and killed them all and the entire worker line. And the Terran player was just like, "What?" Like he was just like, "What?" And did the Viking get picked off in that battle? I think it did.
Yeah, a few of these stalkers have like 3 kills, so I don't know. Maybe it did or not, or maybe it might have. Is that 3 Phoenixes? Oh, 3 Phoenixes going in there. I guess they're gonna try and do some harassing as well. Another Viking coming out though to try and pick off the Oracle, but it only gets shield damage. Actually, got a little bit of health. Got 6 health off of it. The Phoenix is in here. Picking up the mules, good choice. I mean,
yeah,
mules gonna just pick up a lot of minerals. He's gonna get a lot of scouting information too with this.
And look, that one Phoenix escaping with 6 HP there, insane. Took all of that damage and got out there. They better run because that Viking is there. Now, one thing that I really suffered from that I didn't realize, and I had to learn this the hard way in a few team games back when I was in Bronze League, was, oh no, these 2 Phoenixes, oh no! Getting a little too close there.
The one with 6 health still alive, but he lost one of the ones with a good amount of health, which is really sad.
But the thing that I had to learn the hard way is I was depending on a whole bunch of siege tanks behind my Marines, right? And the battle happened, and I stemmed my Marines up, and then like 10 Phoenixes came in and lifted up all my tanks, and all that damage was just instantly gone. and I just got like face rolled, and I didn't even know what was happening. And it was a team game, so it was a 2v2 or 3v3. I mean, now I would not normally go siege tank against Protoss, except in Heart of the Swarm. I would do it in Heart of the Swarm, not in Wings of Liberty, that is, though. So
yeah, Wings of Liberty mech against Protoss is a no-no.
Yeah, I mean it can work if you do some sort of timing attack, but in the late game it's just not viable enough with the Protoss blink on top of they can blink right on top of the siege tanks, and of course you don't have the Hellbats there to absorb a lot of the damage from the Colossus. So it's just really difficult to do in Wings of Liberty as compared to Heart of the Swarm, especially with the Widow Mines too.
The Widow Mines are really good in this game.
And I feel Widow Mines, like whenever I see them being used, in the back of my mind, I'm always like, oh my gosh, that is so freaking overpowered, right? Because it like destroys that many units that quickly. Like if an entire bio ball walks over 5 Widow Mines, half of that army's dead right there, and the other half is extremely injured.
Oh yeah, I mean, I was playing at a I was playing in a 2v2 where me and my friend were both Terran, and we were up against a Terran and a Zerg. And the Zerg was trying to do a Ling run by. All of his Lings ran over 1 Widow Mine, and that 1 Widow Mine got 27 kills with a single shot, and killed the entire Ling run by.
Yeah. Now, I always see that and I say, oh my gosh, these units are so great, but I feel like they were really, they're one of those units that
sorry to interrupt you, there's that Oracle with 15 kills in the main.
Holy crap, wiping out an entire mineral line. No, the SCV's going, oh, right into the Vikings there. I was like, SCVs, you're marching to your death, why? But the Vikings were there.
Yeah,
And the
Vikings.
Vikings are a good choice here because it denies the Oracle, denies the Phoenixes. It's also really good for killing off the Colossus that we see cYong getting.
Yeah, so triple purpose right there, and it's really good, and they're going to be really cost efficient later in the game. Actually, they're starting to be cost efficient now, I guess, taking out the Oracle, protecting the workers, although there were 19 workers killed so far by cYong.
But I do feel that the Widowmine, it's a very strong unit, and when utilized by like masters and really high level players, it's an amazing. It can be utilized very amazingly, but it's also one of those like hit or miss kind of things. Like if you don't get the shot, if you don't get one shot off from it, it's a complete like total waste. And there's so many ways to counter it. All you need is an observer and a few stalkers, and it's dead basically. And it can try and run, but I mean, even then, that's why it's one of the hit or miss things. Anyway, a few Phoenixes coming in here, gonna grab one or two SUV kills until the Vikings get there and they say, "This is my base, not your base."
Yeah, and so now the SCV is going to third on missile turrets in the third of Goody. That'll help against the the Phoenix harass. There's also some in the natural. Are there any in the main? No, there actually aren't any missile turrets in the main. So I don't think he's going to be able to utilize this though, because there are no oracles on the field right now. Just Phoenixes. And looks like stalkers are going to move up into the empty base of Goody. Oh, they're gonna blink up into the main. Oh, look at that blink train going up into the main.
Blink train, very nice there. And I like how he's picking up the reactor on the starport. That's no more double Viking production. And he's just going for the tech labs and the reactors, and that is so annoying. You're like, I'm just gonna build my siege tank. Uh-oh, he built that now. Now I'm gonna take a few tank shots here, and then they can just blink out if they need to. There we go, blinking all of them out, only losing a few there. 1 and 2, we can actually look at the units lost tab here. And the Terran has suffered a whole lot more than our Protoss has thus far. I mean, it's only about 1,000, but even then, it still adds up. So we will definitely see how this game is going to end up turning out. We see cYong here going for a Zealot Sentry Stalker composition. And a few Phoenixes hiding in the corner there. But Goody here trying to really utilize the new mech that came in Heart of the Swarm, and I feel like he's done a great job doing it so far.
Yeah, I'm surprised that Goody hasn't tried to do drops. The new medevac speed, it's actually really crazy. And those Colossus are actually without air support, so those Vikings are... Oh, never mind, the Vikings are going to come back. The Vikings could have gotten 3 free Colossus right there. But instead, he's going to lose all the Stalkers in the third. So the units lost have actually switched into Goody's favor for resources. 3,400 to 2,300.
Yeah, and it was just losing about 10 or 20 stalkers right there. 15 to 10, it looked more like. Not quite 20. And now Goody gonna make an end game push here. Is this going to be successful? We don't know yet. Tanks are pretty good at holding their ground when it comes to fighting off zealots. And stalkers, they annihilate the shields really quickly.
Yeah. And the battle hellions are also going to be able to, keep the zealots away.
Right.
That's just, it tears them up with the cone fire and the splash damage.
But if the Hellbats, they are tankier, but they're still considered a light unit.
Oh, there's a War Prism going into the main right now. The Vikings are looking for it, but they're not going to get to it in time. Oh, actually, they might get to it in time.
Are they going to be able to warp in? No!
One zealot. A single zealot.
Wow. But as I was saying, the Hellbats, they're still considered a light unit, so... blink down into the third here. And Goody has just taken a whole lot of damage. cYong securing his fourth after this. He's throwing away some stalkers though, but he's getting worker kills as it happens, at 40 already, and that's just insane. And there's no stalkers really supporting this. The Vikings could get a few kills here, but one Viking does end up getting picked off there as some stalkers reinforce. But the Colossus, they do a lot of damage to light units. These are light units. Hellbats are considered light and biological, and Colossus rip through anything biological. So they're still pretty good overall, but not the best unit against the Colossus.
Yeah, and actually, if you look in the main, there's 3 carriers in production right now. for cYong.
So the transition to Sky Toss now. It's a very interesting composition there. Now we do see a few Thors actually coming out now, and a blink back to pick off some of the Vikings. Gets one there, I think, but all the rest do end up escaping. And cYong is getting pushed back here pretty heavily, and I actually don't know how he's going to deal with all these siege tanks. There's just so many of them. They're all getting annihilated immediately due to Hellbats and some siege tanks. And Goody here, he's just going to take a position at the ramp, and cYong is just like, okay, I'm just going to base trade it. You know, I would normally say base trading with Terrans is not the best thing to do because they can just lift and run. But it might be. We've seen him win a base race before. Will he be able to do it again?
Yeah, and actually these carriers are all going to be left back here just to die. The mothership core is also stuck in the main. I guess it can use the Purify thing on the Nexus to make it have the cannon, but it's really not going to help, not with this army in the main, and the siege tanks are going to help, you know, siege up the Nexus, but the attack is going on in Terran's base. I don't think cYong is enough.
I like how cYong split his entire army up into the different parts of Goody's base. He sent a few Immortals in the main to pick off all the buildings, all the important buildings that are building, and there's a few Stalkers down here. And it's just another base race scenario. Wow, this is quite amazing that it's happening once again. Where did all those carriers go? Oh my gosh, they're at the third. He used the recall ability.
Oh wow, that's a good idea to get them out.
Yeah, started picking off tanks, and that is one thing when you go tank Hellbat Marine is you don't have a lot of anti-air, and so he's primarily relying on these Vikings and on these two Thors that are here. And it could definitely be enough, but with all the ground support, I'm not actually sure.
I'm actually pretty surprised that Goody hasn't lifted off the command center. Does he have one anymore? I think he's just got a floating racks. Oh, he's throwing down a command center and 2 starports in the natural of cYong. So he's going to be good. He's not going to be getting revealed anytime soon.
And cYong here securing another base up to the top. He knows what's going on as this 4th base is going to go down. But now, oh no, all the tanks! He could blink right on top of them. The carriers moving forward. The Vikings going to start picking them off there. And a blink forward going to try to pick off all of the Vikings. He needs to keep these Vikings alive for as long as he possibly can. That carrier escaping.
Yeah, very little health, only 2 interceptors, but it's got his auto cast on for interceptors, so he's gonna keep building them. I don't know. This game is really actually close right now. I mean, Goody's laying siege onto cYong's base where his third is. There's like 3 mining probes at another base, and then a non-mining base at all. So I'm not really sure what Goody can do because he's not mining. There's no really minerals to mine in the natural.
Lost the Phoenix there, and this Widowmine can pick off another one. Just not end up picking it off, but does lower it down significantly. But I feel like cYong really wins in the air superiority here, and that's what's going to really matter. Oh no, there's a few siege tanks not sieged out! Goody, why?
This actually was a very good engagement for cYong, but there's not enough things to take out the carriers. I think the carriers are just gonna roll over the army, and that's it. GG.
He does come out there, and Goody really didn't do anything wrong. I feel, I just feel that he just, you know, carriers are so tanky, they're so hard to deal with in that late game. That one escaping with 6 HP there, and he just didn't have enough anti-air to really deal with them. After losing a good amount of the Vikings' 2 Stalkers as he pushed, it was just really that, I guess.
Yeah, I think at the very end, that engagement where he didn't have half of his tank siege, that was also a big thing because a lot of the ground army got in there unscathed to take out the tanks while they were trying to siege up, and that was just the ground army just tore through the tanks, so there was nothing to protect the anti-air like the Thors.
And something else that I just want to bring up is not something we saw in this game, but it is something that does happen in TVP. Bio for For Terran, of course, we did not see it this game. We saw Mech utilized very well this game, I felt. There's very few mistakes, and it obviously didn't work out, but he did it really, really well, I felt, in my opinion. But about Bio, with the new Time Warp ability, that combined with High Templar Storms, it just rips through Bio
Oh
so
yeah.
quickly. So they kind of nerfed the Bio play, and they're trying to buff the mech play. So we'll see if Blizzard decides to make any changes before the game does come out. Of course, it is still in beta, and I wonder if they're going to make any changes to Protoss also.
Yeah, I mean, there's not really a lot of time for the things to come out. I guess I think right now it's just gonna be more of tweaking what units are already there, because the Warhound that was kicked out a while ago because it was just way too powerful against Protoss. It was scary, just giving me nightmares.
Having visions back. Well, guys, I am Dean Monkey. With me, I had John, aka Big Brother Gaming. You can check him out at the links below. I have a link to his Twitch page and his YouTube page. We'll also have my Twitch page on there if you guys have Twitch accounts. That's where we live stream. Occasionally, I'll live stream. Occasionally, he'll live stream. He'll live stream anything. I only live stream some games, but not a whole lot. But if you do like, please put a like down below, and make sure to subscribe. And of course, go subscribe to him also and watch his vids. He's an amazing guy, and we're gonna be doing a lot of stuff together. We're also gonna be putting some videos up on his channel of both of us that are not gonna be put on here. So you can always find us there if you run out of videos to find on my channel.
Yeah, and I think tomorrow I'm gonna be starting my Mafia 2 playthrough on my Twitch channel, so check that out. And also, actually, if I don't start the Mafia thing, I'm going to be giving out a HotS beta key tomorrow on my stream. So
Ooh.
be sure to watch. Maybe you can get that key.
So we could be giving out HotS beta key. I'll make sure to put the link there if you want to go find it. So if you're a Starcraft player out there and you're like, I want in the beta so bad, but you can't get a key, now's your opportunity. Make sure to check him out there tomorrow. Today is Saturday, so it's talking about Sunday. I'm assuming, is that correct? You are talking about Sunday.
Yep, Sunday. Sunday tomorrow, February, what is that, February 4th?
3rd.
Oh, 3rd. Okay, February 3rd then. Sunday, February 3rd. I will be
3rd. It will be
giving out a
Super
HotS beta
Bowl
key.
Sunday.
Oh, yes, it
Super Bowl
is.
Sunday, indeed. Well, we hope all you guys enjoy, and we'll see all of you next time.
See you guys. Thank you for having me, Austin.
No problem.